What is the best off-road 4x4 police vehicle in the UK? Well, it's going to be this, the Ford Raptor. If you want to see more, stick around and watch this video. Before we get in this video, I want you to quick like, subscribe, follow, because without you, we can't do these videos. Click those buttons now and let's get into the video. So this is a 2-litre turbo, 220 brake horsepower vehicle. Not 60, it's not too fast, it's only 10 seconds and it comes in at really 100 miles an hour, so it's not really fast at all. Saying that, it weighs 2.5 tonnes. So to know more about it, I'm going to get my mate Chris in. Chris has been in all these videos and he's like my best friend now. That's me there, that's Chris. Chris, come on, get in. Can we have a man hug?
Of course we can.
Shall we? Right, Chris, Ford Raptor, this is a massive, massive vehicle. What's the point of having one of these? Why would we need one of these?
So this is operated by our rural crime team. Clue is in the name, I suppose. They spend most of the time out in the rural parts of Northamptonshire. They're visiting farms, they're going down tracks. They're much the same as we spoke about when we talk about the off-road bike. It gives you access to areas that you won't get in a conventional police car. So if we're running around in a Skoda Octavia, brilliant on the road. When it comes to going down farm tracks with all the holes and the mud and everything else, you just need something that is going to get you there and is not going to get damaged.
Yeah.
And does a good job while it's doing it.
Because what people don't realise as well is there is a lot of crime in countryside as well. You've got a lot of burglaries, a lot of high-profile burglaries for such as Land Rovers, Range Rovers, and quads as well. A lot of farm machinery is taken.
Yep.
So on the route to these farms, the normal traffic cars such as the M340, so on and so forth, can't get to routes like that. So that's why we've got things like this, isn't it?
Absolutely that, yeah. So it has got a lot of presence. It's visible. When the guys are out and about in the rural communities, they're seen, which is really important for something like this, because when you ask people, do you ever see the police out in the rural communities? They'll say no. Well, you can't miss this. If it's out there, you're going to see it, aren't you?
And not only that, snow as well.
Yeah.
When snow comes, you can't get anywhere. Bit of this out,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
definitely.
Bit far before. So one thing I'm always going to ask someone when they show me around the vehicle is, do you know about my criminal test?
Do we need to put the handcuffs on?
You don't need to put the handcuffs on, but I always need to get in the back of the vehicle to see what it's like.
I think to get the full effect then, you need the handcuffs on around your back.
Oh God, I can't.
Come on.
Can we do a criminal test? Right, come with me, Charlie. Oh, I like it. So criminal test, I always show people what it's like when you get locked up. So if you're going to be around Northampton, you're going to get locked up in one of these. This is what it would be like. Side steps, I like a bit of side step. Oh, room in the back of the Ford Raptor, it's really good. You've got loads of leg room, you've got really good headroom. The seats are comfy. Is this leather or pleather?
Part leather, I think.
Part leather. Comfy seats. All in all, for a criminal test, yeah, I'm going to give this an 8.5 out of 10. So if you're going to get locked up in Northampton, make sure it's in the back of the Ford Raptor. So Chris, you've got opposite Ford Raptor, it's got hardcover on back. What's actually in the back, can you show us?
I can show you. So, scratch down and poke in there. Tow rope, obviously a good four-wheel drive. Good for towing stranded vehicles that get stuck in the mud, that drive into areas they perhaps shouldn't.
It's got 500 newton meters of torque for a 2-litre, which is a good bit of pulling power, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It should pull most things out. And you can see it's got good off-road tyres on as well, so if people are stuck in mud, or like you say in the winter in the snow, it should keep them going.
And that looks like MOE kit as
so
well.
Pelly case there, full of method of entry kit. So when these guys are out and about, they're executing warrants on the bad guys that are out committing crime in the rural areas. So they're pretty self-contained. So they've got method of entry kit there so that they can get through doors, right down to a stinger so that if there's a pursuit going on in a rural area, this car's already out there working on the beat. It could be ahead of a pursuit and can deploy a stinger if we need to use that during the pursuit. Everything else that's in here is probably what you'd expect to find in a normal police car, in terms of some cones at the back,
signs,
first aid kit, brush for sweeping up, some flashing blue lights that we put at the scene. So
in theory then, it's a bit like a PSU van, a traffic car, and a normal vehicle all in one with size of boot. So it's got loads of purposes to go out there, and like I said, you don't need to come back to Nick, you can carry all your loads, so it's very impressive.
It has, with the tow bar as well on the back, so good for attaching the tow rope to, but also we've got trailers on the fleet that we use for various things. That's the only time I get to drive it, is when I'm towing my bike trailer around.
I like it. Can you show us inside?
Yeah, by all means. So the interior of this is pretty much the same as any police vehicle you might jump into, certainly on the Northamptonshire fleet. We like the standardisation, so you know where things are. The blue light switches and all the buttons, they're the same in each vehicle, so a certain degree of muscle memory. When you're looking for them in the dark, you know where everything is and you know what it's going to do. So the car itself, like you say, is pretty much a standard appearance Ford Raptor. Automatic gearbox, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive and a low range gearbox.
Yep.
So if you are off-road using some pretty rough terrain, then the four-wheel drive helps you. If you're going up some steep inclines or towing things that have been stranded in the low range, again, really useful bit of kit with a four-wheel drive. So rear matrix, it's in the rear window on this one.
What's your favourite matrix? What is your favourite?
Thank you. I'm a
Is it?
polite sort of chap. And this is pretty much a standard panel to control the blue lights. Blues on the front, blues on the rear flashing reds, siren, and then controlled by the horn once the siren's on. Flashing headlamps, some spotlights on the roof just to give you a little bit more light. It's also got alley lights, so you can have some lights that shine out to the side. And again, we talked about this just being visible while it's out and about on the beat. During the hours of darkness, you can put the cruise lights on, which just put a constant blue light on the blue light. So they're not flashing, just a dim blue light, so you can see the vehicle out there.
So basically, if you're in a field or driving down some alleyway or some track in the middle of nowhere, a farmer looks out, he can see it's actually the police vehicle rather than I've got some sort of people coming up to my farm at 3 in the morning.
Absolutely,
you can see it's the police vehicle.
Bit of reassurance for the people out in the rural communities. It also stops them calling in to say I've got somebody driving around the farm. Yeah,
brilliant. So what's this? Is this a camera?
So that's a camera, yeah. So that's part of the telematics on the vehicle. So all of our vehicles have telematics in them, so we know where they are, we know how they're being driven. They've got built into that is the collision system, so it's involved in a collision and it stores all the telematics and records it visually on the camera. So
just make people aware then, so people can't say at home, I've just seen this car going quick because he wants to get home because he's got some fish and chips and they're late for the meal. You can't do that nowadays, can you? We need to be law-abiding, we need to be right in what we do and drive to the rules of the road.
Yeah, quite right too, and that level of that level of scrutiny exists across all of our fleet. So exactly that, if somebody does make a complaint or they're concerned about the way a vehicle's being driven, a supervisor or somebody for fleet can log onto it straight away. It'll tell you where the vehicle is and go through lots of telematics that it does store around how it's being driven at a particular time.
Absolutely fantastic. Last but not least, flappy paddles.
Yeah.
What's the sketch? Some sort of rally car, is it?
All mod cons.
Right, we're going to light her up and have a look. So this is the police Ford Raptor. I think you'll agree it's the best 4x4 police vehicle in the UK, unless you know something else. If you do, put it in the comments below. Please feel free to subscribe, click, like, and do everything else you can do. And we'll see you next time for more videos like this. Love you to bits.